All right, so we'll be using charcoal to create value changes on the faces of the flat forms, the cube in the box, the pyramid, and also on the curved surfaces of the sphere, the cone, and the cylinder. I want you to notice that we have a light source, and this is where I want you to put your light source to. You don't have to make a sun like I did, but I want you to imagine the light hitting from the upper right-hand side of your paper on each of these 5 forms. When the light source hits this one, it will hit this face more directly than this face. This face is facing on the opposite side of the light source. So it's going to be darker here than it is here. This is going to be maybe even the white paper. This is going to be just a little darker because it's still a light object. On the cube, it's going to be hitting this face a little bit less than it was this one because this one's at an angle facing it. This one's not. So it might be hitting this face most directly, and then this one a little bit less, and then this one a lot less. So this face and this face are about the same darkness, these two, but this face is a little darker than this one, and it's a little darker than that one. So let's get into it. The first place to start is with your charcoal on tone, and you're just going to build it up gradually so that you get a nice even application of the charcoal onto the surface. Try to stay right inside your outlines as much as you can. I know it's not easy on these smaller forms, and you want to go right up to your edges, and you want to try to make the edges disappear. When you're blending, remember I want you to use your thumb rather than a piece of tissue or anything like that. You have better control. And when you're blending, don't push hard, you just want to move it around that surface. Now I want to just mention that once again, it's getting a little bit more light than this space is. That's starting to look a little dark for there. So I'm going to pull out some of the value with my eraser, and I'm just going to lighten it up so that it doesn't look quite so dark. It's still a light object. It just needs to be lighter than, darker than the top face, which gets more of the light. So we're just lightening it up and moving it around so it looks like it's a little darker than the white paper. If you go outside of your edges, clean up your edges, and it's a little too dark right there in a corner, a flat surface gets one even value across its whole surface. It doesn't change from light to dark across that surface. That light is hitting there evenly. The only thing that'll change it is if there's something blocking the light from getting there, or it's not really a flat surface. Maybe it's a curved surface and we didn't know it. In that case, it's not a cube. So you want to make sure it's a nice even application of value across that entire face. The next thing is to go to the next darker face and do the same thing. Put on about the same darkness that you did on the lighter one. Don't go too dark too soon. You can always make it darker. Blend it in. Don't press too hard. Remember, you want to make it look like a flat surface. Excuse me for getting my head in your way. And you want to go right into those corners as well as you can. Don't press hard with your charcoal, and don't press hard with your finger when you blend it in place. Once you've got it blended in place, once again, use your eraser to clean up any areas where it doesn't belong and make it as neat and clean as possible throughout. If you look closely, it's a little lighter right there, so I need to build up my darkness so it's a nice, even, flat value for a flat-faced object. Once again, if you go too far, use your eraser to pull out the values. So that's your cube.